Hello, this is like my first video in like 2 years, my second overall video on my channel. Before I start my video, I wanted to give some context about what I want my future videos to be. I think I can put a timestamp on it in YouTube. I'll have to figure that out. But the main goal or the main function of what I want this channel to be is no longer what I wanted it to be back when I was way younger. Back then, I wanted this channel to be like a gaming channel. I wanted to play video games, but that never really came to fruition. I was never able to like play a game from beginning to end and like stream it for you guys because I feel like it would just not be as entertaining as it can be. And I will try to make it more entertaining, but as for right now, I think what would be more entertaining is just being myself, honestly. I just feel like the things that I can talk about and the things that I can do is just overall more entertaining for this channel than anything else. So that is why today I'm gonna release a video that is this, and it's just gonna be me rambling about a topic. And without further ado, I bring to you guys bacon's perfection and why I have an issue with it. See, bacon is really, really, really good. Don't get me wrong. However, it's just too perfect objectively. Okay, so to start, we have bacon stats. Let's take a look at bacon at a surface level. So it's a pig-based product, obviously. Aside from like pork and whatnot, you know, bacon is probably one of the only things that comes from pigs. It can be eaten chewy. It doesn't have to be like this big crunchy thing. It can pig products, beef, all that kind of stuff. You just kind of are able to tear it apart. It can also be crunchy. You can also choose to make it crunchy. It could be chewy, it could be crunchy, it could be both. Why not? 80% of Americans like bacon. This is a pretty big stat comparing it to pork. 66% of America. 80% of Americans like bacon. And 21% of those Americans are suicidal, basically, because they are willing to eat bacon every single day. Yeah, look, every day sounds a bit excessive for bacon. Like, this is not good for you. It's gonna get you killed. So, like, 16% of all Americans would eat bacon every single day. That's kind of absurd. And out of the 20% who are like on board with liking bacons, only 4% of the American population doesn't like bacon. Like, truly say that they don't like bacon. Like, not think it's average, not think it's any of that. Dislike it. That is a very, very small number. It's very hard for a food product to be so good that only 4% of a country dislikes it. I don't think it is globally spread, but in America, that number is way too small. It's also a price of $5 for a package like this, So, like, that sounds expensive-ish, but also prices of everything have just generally been going up. So, yeah. Now, this is gonna be the weakness segment of bacon, and unfortunately, it's only got one. It has one weakness, and that's the cooking grease. You ever make bacon and you have to wash the dishes, but like you can't throw it out because it's a fire hazard, but you can't dump it in the sink or else it'll clog the sink? And this sucks. This is the worst part of bacon by far. And it appears to be the only bad part about bacon. But the main thing with bacon is that it's so versatile. I don't just mean like slightly versatile. I mean very versatile. You're probably sitting there wondering, how many things could you possibly fit with bacon? A lot. 27 slides worth of it. So, good number. Let's start off with the very, very first meal of the day. Breakfast. We all know and love bacon for breakfast. I mean, even in this random PNG that I found that was literally just Googling breakfast, bacon is like the first thing that you can notice in there. And bacon's I like a breakfast icon. Like anything that you eat with a breakfast, bacon is usually coming along with it. First off is eggs. Like every single morning, I think that my parents have cooked eggs. It's always followed up with bacon. Like just bacon's always there. It's like I'm not gonna complain about it either because morning bacon is very very good and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. But it's not just eggs. It's French toast. It's not any toast. It's French toast. That is a picture of a restaurant that I went to for breakfast, and it's literally French toast with bacon pieces on it and bacon on the side. That is a whole lot of bacon. Not just French toast, but the what I like to call the batter trio. You got waffles, pancakes, and French toast. All three of them combined with bacon. And this is again. It would be one thing if this was like an unusual thing, but like usually you don't have to combine the two things, right? You could just eat bacon on the side with the French toast. It's totally fine, right? But this is where the normal things end, and where bacon truly starts coming to fruition because we got lunch next. Oh, for before lunches. And before I go into lunches, I just like to mention that it's good with snacks too. This honestly looks disgusting. Apples with bacon. I wouldn't recommend this to you. This was one of the first things that I found doing research on this topic. And it doesn't look too hot. But what is too hot is bacon with asparagus. I didn't even think this was possible. As a matter of fact, every single Thanksgiving, I sit there and question my existence when I'm looking at bacon with asparagus. But honestly, it's unfortunate to say, but it's good. And this is going to be a very common theme where you just have a bacon product and it looks like unappetizing or sounds unappetizing, but I either like it or publicly it has a high rating. And this is just the primary example of it. Like, this shouldn't work, but it does. Also, it doesn't have to be healthier stuff. I'd like to mention that this is pretzels combined with bacon. It doesn't sound too good, but pretzels does work with meats. There's like the pretzel hot dogs you can get from Wetzel's Pretzels, so I can imagine this working. But next, we got lunch. Now, what is the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to lunch? Sandwiches. Sandwiches, specifically burgers, comes to mind when it comes to lunch. At least for me. Like, I do cookouts usually around lunchtime. So this is when burgers come around. And, of course, you can have it with bacon. And this isn't just a household thing either. Like, every restaurant that I know that is primarily known for their burgers has, like, burgers, like, with bacon. Like, I think Wendy's has one. Burger King has the Baconator. Oh, shoot, I sound stupid if that's wrong. I'm gonna sound so stupid. That's not the point. That is not the point. The point is that bacon works with burgers, which my primary concern is that it is centered around the burger itself. So adding bacon to it, it's like a double meat sandwich. It just feels too excessive. But it doesn't just stop with one meat product, because why would it ever stop with one meat product? It's also with Subway sandwiches and sandwiches as a whole. Sandwiches come with many meats, and bacon never once is the reason that these sandwiches aren't good. And since it is in Subway sandwiches, it can be in a lot of sandwiches. These are all different and unique sandwiches, and every single one of these photos has bacon in it. This is unstoppable. This is madness. The fact that you can have so many different combinations of food, and every single one of them being bacon, and it just works, is a little unnecessary. It's like condiments, for example, which, by the way, I will make a video on my opinion on that, don't worry. Like, let's take a look at ketchup, right? You take a look at ketchup, and you could put it on, like, hot dogs, right? and you put it on hot dogs, and at least in your guys' opinion, it would taste good. It would be pretty normal to have it on a hot dogs. But if you were to take, like, I don't know, like ice cream and put ketchup on it, it'd be pretty grossed out. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be grossed out too. As a matter of fact, if you were to do that in front of me, I would never talk to you ever again. You would be exiled from my social community. But that's another topic for another time. But bacon, it just always feels like it works, and it just doesn't sit right with me. But it's not just lunch; it's dinner. And the first blow that they go for is pizza. Pizza is probably my favorite food of all time. I think it's very hard to mess up pizza. It's so good to the fact that I'm not a big tomatoes person and I'm not a big tomato sauce person, but pizza's the only product I'll really, really like enjoy the tomato sauce aspect of the, at least. And they found a way to put bacon on it. This is a bit much, you know? This is a long arm of bacon. It's not just pizza, though. If it was just pizza, dinner would not be on this list. You got carbonara. Carbonara is, arguably at least, my favorite pasta dish. Carbonara is, like, it's so delicious. The amount of stuff that you can have with it is insane. And the whole thing with carbonara is that it is listed based off of the meat product that you choose with it. Chicken carbonara, shrimp carbonara, chicken and shrimp carbonara, you know? This is all of that. Its name is based off of that. But what every single carbonara has in common, they all have bacon in it. This is too much. It's like, how do you take a meat-centric pasta dish and have every single one of them share a meat in common? It's unstoppable. Every single pasta dish that you can think of with like different meats has bacon with it, and that doesn't seem to be stopping it, because it's not like people aren't eating these pasta dishes. It's not like you take a look at the carbonara and you're like, oh, I don't want it. It has bacon in it. Like, people don't say that, and it's a bother to me. The worst offender by far is its reach on dessert. Take a look at this. Take a look at all of this, and tell me why. Why? It's ice cream. Why is bacon with ice cream? It's not just ice cream, too. It's everything. Look at the bottle. I can't even tell you what this is anymore. It is literally just bacon with chocolate in it. That is cake. That is donuts. It's reached out to everything. This is madness. This is unconceivable. And it's not like these are niche either. It is not like I Googled like these things and it's just completely random. Every single one of these you could put research in on your own, and they have like 5-star ratings, 4.5-star ratings, 4-star ratings. Look at this. Why is it rated so well? It's a donut. It's freaking cake. I'm biting into cake for the sweetness and the cold and the all of that for the cake. Why is bacon a product that can go with this? And this is what I think is happening. Pork. Pork is pretty well perceived by everyone, as a matter of fact. Not me personally. I'm not the biggest pork guy, and I do go into detail as to why I'm not the biggest pork guy, but let's just see everything wrong with pork. It's expensive. It's very expensive for pork. It's dry. It's like, you know, when I'm eating meat, like I eat chicken, I'll eat a burger, bacon too, when cooked properly. It's all kind of moist, Pork just isn't. Pork's just dry. It takes forever to cook. You're sitting there, you're waiting. It's too much. It's like, and then obviously if it takes forever and it's like dry, you would hope that it tastes good, but it doesn't taste good enough to compensate for it. Pork also just has too much fat. I'm not a biggest fat eater. There are definitely some people out there who like eating the fat. Not me. It's not a me thing. I like, if you go back to this previous slide, it doesn't look appetizing. I just look at it. I don't feel hungry. Bacon I do. Pork I don't. But it remains popular, but like, as I said earlier in this video, only 66 of Americans eat and like pork. Bacon is at 80. And I can guarantee you that it's not 21% of the 66 people are arguing to eat pork every single day. And I think I know what happened. I think God himself or whatever deity, or if you're an atheist, whatever scientist, I think God himself created pork and was sitting there and they were thinking, not enough pigs are dying. There are too many pigs on this planet. We need to fix this. And thus, bacon was born, and it has ruled the meat industry. They invented bacon. They created bacon. Solved all the problems of pork. It solved every meat issue. Let's take a look at a summary of everything that bacon can do. It tastes good with breakfast. It tastes good with lunch. It tastes good with dinner. It tastes good with desserts. It could be a snack. It could be eaten by itself. This thing, it does everything for you. Literally. Like, it's just any time that you think bacon doesn't apply, it doesn't exist. You can't think of a time where bacon doesn't apply, because it always finds a way to work. And this is what doesn't sit right with me. Like, chicken, I love chicken. Chicken is so good. It, like, fried chicken, chicken wings, chicken itself, just like anything. Chicken is so good. I am not eating chicken for breakfast. It's not happening. But bacon, you can. And I do, and it works. Every single time. Thank you for sitting to me ramble for like 15-20 minutes about bacon just being absurd. And yeah, hopefully this series will continue and will become more popular. Thank you, and goodbye.